Hi guys, I hope you're all well and welcome to episode 126 of the James Layton Fitness Podcast. So in this specific episode we'll be discussing, does it actually matter if calorie calculators are not 100% accurate? So this is a common complaint I hear very often, that is, well, these calculators are not 100% accurate, so why should I use them? And the real key you need to remember is the goal of these calculators is not to give you calorie and macronutrient targets that are 100% accurate. The goal of them is to give you a starting point to make changes from. It's absolutely imperative that you understand that within a fat loss phase or a muscle building phase, your nutrition targets are ever changing, subject to your progress. But we must have these starting figures put in place, put to test, and then you're going to measure your progress, and then subject to your progress you're going to be making changes to these figures over time. So therefore it doesn't particularly matter if they're not 100% accurate, because we'll be making changes to these figures anyway. But we must have some targets to work from. You can't just expect to make changes to your calories when you don't even know how many calories and macronutrients you're actually consuming. So it's critical that we have something in place first, and then we can make changes subject to these figures. So that's really the overall goal of these calculators. Yes, they're not 100% accurate, but it doesn't particularly matter because we need to have something in place first to measure our progress. So for example, if your goals are fat loss, you really want to be focusing on a 0.5 to 1% weight loss target per week. The reason why is this is a good rate of weight loss to maintain as much muscle mass as possible within the fat loss phase. Remember, within the fat loss phase we have two goals. We have the goal of losing body fat and the goal of maintaining as much muscle mass as possible, and therefore this second objective of maintaining as much muscle mass as possible dictates we don't want to be losing weight too quickly. So 0.5 to 1% weight loss figure is a great target to aim for. But if that is not achieved, then it's your cue to make a change to either calories and or increase energy expenditure for more cardio with weight training as the foundation of your routines. You may make a 10-15% drop in calories to either carbohydrates or fats, or a combination of both. It really does not matter. It doesn't matter which, because it's more about making the reduction in calories but making sure that protein stays constant. So make sure protein stays constant, and that 10-15% drop comes from either carbs or fats, or a combination of both. Or you could add another cardio session. On the flip side, if you reach a muscle building plateau, you can increase calories by approximately 5%. The reason why is because in the muscle building phase you're eating more total calories. We don't want to make too much of a leap. If we made a 10-15% jump in calories because you're already eating more food, that would be quite a significant jump, and therefore it would be easy to gain body fat. So a smaller jump is required within the muscle building phase, and that's really the key, just understanding that these calorie targets from the calculator are just there as a starting point to put to test to make changes again. So really don't use the excuse they're not 100% accurate. That's correct, but that's not the goal of these starting calorie figures. Now keep in mind, the one caveat I would say is if you're already tracking your food intake, this will be the time where you don't really need to be using these calculators. The reason why is you have unequivocal data of how your body is responding to these current nutrition targets, and then it's a case of manipulating these figures subject to your goals. So if it's fat loss and you're maintaining your weight, you want to be dropping your calories, and if it's muscle building and you're maintaining your weight, you want to be increasing calories. So hopefully that's been useful. Don't use the excuse they're not 100% accurate, because that's not the goal of these calculators. The goal is to put something in place to test and then to make changes against, because ultimately the calories and macronutrients you start a fat loss phase will be different to what they are at the end of the fat loss phase, and the same applies to the muscle building phase. They'll be different at the end of the muscle building phase compared to the start of the muscle building phase. So thank you very much for listening. If you're still yet to download my free ebook, How to Set Up a Nutrition Plan, if you go to James Layton, Layton fitness.co.uk, you'll see a tab at the top of the page called free ebook, and you can download that immediately. I look forward to speaking to you next week. And if you're still yet to subscribe to the podcast, please do, as these podcasts come out every single week, and therefore by subscribing it will automatically download to your smartphone, and therefore you will never miss an episode. Thank you very much.